At first glance, the world looks familiar. Roads, buildings, forests, oceans, things we think we understand. But every now and then, there are places that don't fit the rules, places that feel wrong the moment you hear about them, places that make even scientists pause, locals stay silent, and visitors feel watched. These are the kinds of places where logic feels weak, where history refuses to give straight answers, and where fear doesn't come from monsters, it comes from the unknown. Tonight, we're not talking about haunted houses or movie myths. We're talking about real locations that exist on real maps, visited by real people, and surrounded by questions nobody has been able to fully explain. And once you hear these stories, you might think twice before trusting how normal the world really is. One of these places sits quietly in Russia, hidden among thick trees and endless silence. From above, it looks like a giant scar burned into the earth. Locals call it the Devil's Nest, but scientists know it as the Tunguska region. In 1908, something happened here that shook the planet. On a calm summer morning, without warning, the sky exploded. A blinding flash tore through the air, followed by a shock wave so powerful it knocked people off their feet hundreds of miles away. Windows shattered, forests flattened, and animals dropped dead where they stood. More than 80 million trees were destroyed in seconds, all falling in the same direction as if pushed down by an invisible hand. But here's the twist. No crater was ever found, no meteor, no debris, nothing that could clearly explain what caused one of the largest explosions in recorded history. Survivors described the sky splitting open. Some said the sun fell from the heavens. Others spoke about fire rolling across the horizon. Years later, when scientists finally reached the site, they found burned trees standing upright, their branches stripped clean, like skeletons frozen in time. Even more disturbing, the soil showed signs of radiation, but not the kind that matched any known natural event. To this day, theories fight each other. Some believe it was a comet that exploded mid-air. Others whisper about experimental weapons, alien technology, or something even older buried beneath the earth that woke up for a moment. Animals still avoid parts of the region. Compasses behave strangely, and locals refuse to stay overnight. More than a century later, the Tunguska event remains a warning that the sky itself can turn against us without explanation. But mystery doesn't only fall from the sky. Sometimes it waits beneath our feet. Deep in the Pacific Ocean, not far from Japan, lies a structure that looks like it doesn't belong to nature. Divers call it the Yonaguni Monument. At first glance, it appears to be a massive stone staircase descending into the sea. Perfect angles, sharp corners, flat platforms stacked with precision. When discovered in the 1980s, many believed it was the remains of an ancient city swallowed by rising waters. The deeper divers went, the stranger it became. Carved steps, what looked like roads, shapes resembling temples and monuments. If this structure was man-made, it would mean an advanced civilization existed here thousands of years before history says it should have. Some researchers argue that erosion could never create such clean geometry. Others insist it must be natural, even though nature rarely works in straight lines. What nobody expected was the silence surrounding it. No tools, no bones, no written records. Just stone, resting quietly underwater, as if waiting to be remembered. Local legends speak of a lost land destroyed by earthquakes and floods. Some even connected to myths of vanished continents. Every year, divers return, hoping to uncover proof, but the ocean keeps its secrets well hidden. And maybe that's the point. Maybe some chapters of human history were never meant to survive. Not all mysteries are ancient. Some are still happening, right now. In the heart of Alaska, there is a stretch of wilderness pilots avoid whenever possible. It's part of what people call the Alaska Triangle. Planes disappear here without sending distress signals. Boats vanish in calm waters. Experienced travelers report navigation systems failing without reason. Even modern satellites struggle to explain the number of accidents linked to this region. Families have waited decades for answers that never came. Search teams found nothing, no wreckage, no remains, just silence. Some survivors who escaped the area described intense pressure in their heads, strange lights in the sky, and a feeling of being pulled off course. Compasses spin wildly, radios crackle with static, and weather patterns change without warning. Scientists try to explain it through magnetic anomalies and extreme terrain. But here's the problem. Those explanations don't fully match the scale of disappearances. Indigenous legends speak of a dark force that drags souls away. Others believe the land itself shifts, opening and closing paths that humans were never meant to cross. Whatever the truth is, one thing is clear. Alaska doesn't give back everyone who enters. And then there's a place that looks peaceful, almost beautiful, until you know its story. Off the coast of Japan lies Aokigahara Forest. From the outside, it seems like a normal woodland, thick with trees and quiet wind. But once you step inside, sound disappears. Birds go silent. Footsteps feel heavy. The forest floor is uneven, formed by hardened lava, creating natural traps that can swallow a person whole.
For decades, this forest has been known as a place where people go and never return. Broken ropes, abandoned belongings, handwritten notes, all discovered among the trees. Authorities patrol the area constantly, but the numbers continue to rise. Locals say the forest has a presence, something that feeds on despair. Compasses fail here too, thrown off by the iron-rich soil. It's easy to lose direction, easy to feel trapped, even during daylight. What makes Aokigahara truly chilling is not death itself, it's the emotion hanging in the air. Visitors describe overwhelming sadness with no clear reason, a sense that you're not alone, even when there's nobody around. Some claim to hear whispers, others feel hands pulling them deeper inside. Scientists explain it through psychology and environment, but those explanations don't stop the fear. The forest doesn't chase you, it waits. These places leave marks on more than maps. They affect people, families, beliefs, careers. Explorers have lost reputations trying to prove theories that failed. Scientists have walked away from research they couldn't explain. Locals live with stories passed down through generations, warnings disguised as legends. And for those who visited and returned, life is never quite the same. Sleep becomes lighter, silence feels louder, and the world feels less predictable. What hurts the most is not knowing. Humans can accept tragedy when there's a reason, but when there's only questions, the mind fills the gaps with fear. Each of these locations challenges what we think we understand about nature, history, and ourselves. They remind us that progress doesn't equal control, and technology doesn't guarantee safety. And maybe that's why these stories stay with us, because deep down we know the truth. The planet is older than us, smarter than us, and it doesn't owe us explanations. There are places that remember things we've forgotten, and places that will still be here long after we're gone. So the next time you look at a map and think every corner of the world has been explored, remember this: some places are found but never understood. And some mysteries don't need answers to be terrifying. They just need to exist. Because the scariest thing in this world isn't what we know. It's what's still waiting, quietly, in the shadows.